What's up, guys? Austin here, aka the Crypto Siphon, coming at you with another video. A lot to talk about today, guys. First of all, we're going to talk about the market. What do I think is going on for the rest of the week? What do I think we're headed to into the weekend? We're going to talk a little bit about this head and shoulders pattern. I know I've been talking about it for quite a while. I'm going to say it, but I'm probably not going to get any credit for it. But I'm probably one of the first people to start talking about this potential head and shoulders pattern. So we're going to look a little more into that. And really big news, guys. Probably some of the biggest news that we've gotten almost all year. And that's got to do with Bitcoin and a potential ETF. So if you guys want to hear more, stay tuned.
And you soon it won't be long. Keep on, keep running.
What's up, guys? Let's get right into it. Let's look at the charts. So I know if you looked at my last video, if you guys have been keeping up with me on Twitter, if you're not, I encourage you to do so. I put out regular updates just about every other day or even every day about what's going on with the market real time. For those of you that have been following me, like I mentioned earlier, I'm probably one of the first people who started talking about this head and shoulders pattern. I know I started talking about it sometime last week, and it's looking like it may play out. We saw a drop yesterday, which, I mean, if you guys are looking at my Twitter, you'll know I finally put a tweet out that said, like, finally we dropped. Good God. But we had this rising wedge here, guys, that we've been looking at for God knows how long. And now we're just gonna see, what's going on with this rising wedge. So we're in the rising wedge, and we were expecting it to fall, and we finally did fall out of the wedge, and we fell pretty good. We fell to about 63.50-ish, all the way. Actually, no, it was more like 62.60. Actually, was the bottom. I remember I called it out on my Twitter, and because it hit directly above my box that I had for where we'd more than likely fall to. I will say, do I think that we're going to, if this pattern going to play out? I'm really 50-50 on this, guys. I mean, when you're looking at the charts, you got to take all the signs into consideration. We certainly have made a pretty good argument here for a head and shoulders pattern. I mean, we have a clearly defined left shoulder and head, and we're working at what looks like to me might be working out a right shoulder. We've also come down, and now we have our uptrend line, and we'll see if we'll respect that line. Honestly, I'm not really sure about that just yet. I do see some signs of bullish divergence on the lower time frames. I've looked at the 15-minute, the 30-minute, the hour, 2-hour, all the way up to the 3-hour. We're looking at some bullish divergence, some bullish signs, but I'm not entirely convinced yet. If we are going to make our way up, we probably are going to would have to consolidate for a little bit longer, in my opinion. So for now, I'm pretty neutral, guys. For those of you who looked at my Twitter, this is 100%. For a new trader, this is a no trade zone, guys. This is a portion of the Bitcoin market, or excuse me, a part in the Bitcoin trend right now that is just very unknown. And I do not suggest anyone that doesn't have, a decent trading background, who isn't at least well versed in the charts, to start trading right now, because we don't know exactly what's going to happen. Yes, we are in the early stages of forming this right shoulder on the head and shoulders pattern. And if that plays out, that's great. That is awesome, guys. If not, then we may drop further. Now, in my opinion, I'm still more on the bullish side, as long as if we go down, we continue to make a higher low. So if we do drop below 62.60, and we go somewhere in here around 6,000, even 5,900, guys, that still technically would be a higher low. It is what it is. It wouldn't be comfortable for everybody. It never really is comfortable, to be honest with you. The no trade that is going to, when you catch the bottom of a trend or a pattern, it's never really comfortable, guys. That's the truth. So we just have to look and wait and see what the market's going to do. Now, what I am seeing, though, and this is on the 3-hour chart, guys, and those of you who look at my videos, you'll know I'm always looking at the RSI, the MACD, and just looking at the price action and seeing what I think. And for now, on the 3-hour chart and below, we have a bullish divergence on the RSI. We're down here at about 20 on the RSI we went to, and we made a bit of a higher low, and we've continued that higher low as of this moment on the 3-hour. Now, what I'm looking for, guys, is I'm looking for this higher low bullish divergence to cascade over to the higher time frames. Now, if we can get bullish divergence on the 4-hour, the 6-hour, the 12-hour, then that really builds a case for this potential right shoulder to form. Now, keep in mind, guys, just even if the price drops, don't get alarmed just yet. Like I said, as long as we're staying above this low right here, we still technically have a chance at making this right shoulder and having this head and shoulders pattern play out. Because typically what we look for is we might drop even further to 6,000, guys. That's very likely. However, what we'll look for in that case is, if we do drop to 6,000, do we make a lower low on the RSI? Okay. Do we look at our indicators, especially the RSI is one of the leading indicators. That's a real-time indicator that we can use. The MACD and some other things are lagging indicators, but we look at our volume. We have descending volume, which does go in, that does give more of a sign with the head and shoulders pattern. But even if we do, the price drops, guys, like I said, to somewhere in the 5,900, above 5,900 or so, and we see a higher low on the RSI and that cascades to higher time frames, then yes, it's very likely that this head and shoulders pattern will play out. And I was looking at, it looks like we're making a bit of a channel here, guys. This is probably not the best, gonna be the best looking channel at the moment, but let's see here. So this is basically our channel that we're going in. Change that, yada yada yada. Okay, so we fell out of this upward channel that we're in. I mean, I guess if you even want to say, I'm gonna say that we fell out of our channel. It's possible that we can reverse and get back in the channel and continue upward, guys. I'm not heavily relying on this channel at the moment. I'm more looking at my indicators, but so far we did fall out of the channel, and if we can manage to get back in the channel and get above this current resistance at about 64.10, I believe, get to 64.10 and get above the 55 EMA, which would be about 65. If we can get above 64.10 and then above 65.50, then I definitely say that this head and shoulders pattern has a really good shot to play out. And I'm not saying right here, right now, that we need to get above 65.50, guys. Even if the price drops a little more and we maintain that bullish divergence on the RSI and our indicators, and we start making our way up and we go above 65.50, that would build a very good, solid case for this head and shoulders play that we're looking at, okay? So that's what I'm looking at for Bitcoin right now. I'm just kind of waiting and seeing what's happening. I'm kind of looking on the sidelines right now before I do anything. If the market breaks down, obviously I have a play I'll make. And if the market goes up, I know there's a play I'm going to make as well. But for now, guys, for you guys, if we get above 65.50, there's a really good chance that this pattern is going to play out. And then our target will be, like I mentioned in my previous video, we'll be looking at somewhere above 7,200, closer towards, 7,500 and above. But for now, the small target will be 7,200 to get to, and that's what we'll be looking forward to. And we'll take things as they go from there. Now, if this pattern is invalidated, guys, and that's possible, we have to look at both sides. We're not bullish and we're not bearish. We're neutral. Remember that. If the pattern is invalidated and this whole, this whole entire trend that we're in is essentially just one giant bear flag, which is possible, then we'd be looking at some very heavy downward action, guys. That's the truth. For the short term, I mean, short term wise, if this breaks down and this is technically, let's say, a bear flag that we're forming here, somebody might even consider this like a bear pennant, but I'm not even going to go there. But if this is like a small bear flag that we're looking at, guys, and we do drop, then just from here alone, we'd be looking at something like this. So we'd be looking at going down to about 50. What in the heck is going on with my chart today? Yeah, back down to our lows, guys. 5,700, which would make a lower low. So we need this to hold, guys. We do not. I would really like to see this hold. We can trend a little further down, but like I said, we need to maintain that bullish divergence, and that's really what I'm going to be looking for. And I'll keep you guys updated on Twitter. But if this whole entire thing here, this whole trend right here, is simply just some sort of bear flag that we're going in, guys. I know this is. I don't know why my chart is not doing what I want it to, but if this whole thing just happens to be a bear flag that we've been in, then that's going to be a very significant drop that we would take, and we'll cross that bridge when we get there, guys. I'm not even going to go there right now. For now, we just need to see what the market does and just react accordingly. So like I said, above 65.50, very bullish. But if we drop down to 6,000, guys, or 5,900, and we just make a higher low, then that's still going to be bullish for us. But if we go below this low here, guys, and we make a new lower low, then yes, this whole pattern will be completely invalidated, and we will be in for more downward action somewhere in the low 5,000s. I'm not going to say lower, but yes, potentially even lower. But just so you know, so when you guys think to yourselves, you have a game plan, you're looking at the charts, you're looking at whatever you're looking at, your apps for what the price action is doing, 65.50s for the bullish scenario. We can look more, towards looking in for trade setups and things like that, and hopefully be able to break the 6,800 resistance, because that's really what it is, guys. The 6,800 resistance is the major resistance we're trying to get above. Now, below that, like I said, if we make a lower low and we go below 57.50, guys, that spells trouble for everybody, and that's going to be, a game changer for the market right now. We're going to head a lot lower, and we're going to be looking for a lot lower of a price to see some sort of reversal, okay? And I'll update things as we get further. Same thing for Ethereum. I'm noticing, same thing here. I'm on the 4-hour chart here, actually. I see a bullish divergence. On the MACD, this is a lagging indicator, so I'm not, I'll take that for what it is. I see a bullish divergence on the RSI. However, I'm not crazy about this divergence here, guys. I mean, it is what it is. I don't typically like when the RSI makes a rounded effect. I'm not very keen on that, but it is a bullish divergence. But once again, we're looking for that to cascade over to a higher time frame. Okay. We do have a low price, and as the price got lower, we do have a higher like I mentioned before on the RSI. So we're looking at that as well. This is our support for Ethereum. It's about 405. We just barely touched it, probably a couple days ago, sometime last week, and we need to maintain above that. So if we go below, I think it's actually 404. If we go below 404, guys, that's going to spell some trouble for action. Actually, let me look here. I take that back. Not below 404. I'm sorry, guys. 359. So this is the 78% retrace mark, 78.6. And if we go below 359, guys, that's when we're looking at making a significant lower low. And that's when Ethereum is going to be in some serious trouble. So we do have some wiggle room on Ethereum, guys. I will admit, we do have major support at this level, and from 405 all the way down to 350, we have major support, guys. Just so you can see here, we have all this support that is historical support for us, okay? And that's what we're relying on right now. And this is a pretty strong support. So I'm counting on that to hold. I'm not saying that it will, but I'm definitely counting on that to hold. But let's get into the big news, guys. For those of you who haven't heard, the SEC, the CBOE is trying to file an ETF with the SEC, guys, okay? Now, this is big news. Now, this has happened before, and it's not like this is something new. There's been multiple ETFs that have been applied for to the SEC, guys. But this is the first time that the SEC is allowing you guys to actually voice your own opinion on their website, okay? So, for the first time in history here, we have the ability to actually go on there and voice our opinion about the reasons why we feel that there should be an ETF for Bitcoin, guys. This is huge for the market. I don't know, for those of you who don't know what an ETF is, guys, an exchange traded fund, I talked a little about in my last video. An ETF will allow for very large investors to come in and start buying up Bitcoin in a secure fashion, okay? This is when they will have to physically own the Bitcoin, the private keys for this Bitcoin. So in order for these large companies to have this Bitcoin, guys, if this ETF does go through, that means that these huge exchanges or whoever is going to be offering these ETFs has to actually physically own that Bitcoin. So that means that the price is going to see a monumental rise. And that is going to be a secure and safe way for large institutions or institutional investors to get into the market, which they can't do right now, guys. I mean, really, the main reason why we don't see this large institutional money that everyone keeps talking about, I'm sure it's like a broken record at this point. It's mainly because of the regulatory factors, guys. There's no safety in owning Bitcoin. I mean, look at all the exchanges that are getting hacked on like a weekly basis, guys. These guys don't want to go through these small exchanges that can easily get hacked and their funds, which is tens of millions of dollars, can be lost. That's not what they want. They want a place to trade their Bitcoin, to trade their crypto, where it's going to be safe and secure for them, and they want to have it insured, and they want to do it in a manner that they're used to doing it on exchanges that they trust, that they've been using for years. So this is the entry level for that, guys. And just imagine, you get one ETF, and there's going to be many others that come along for Ethereum and other cryptos. So this is really our opportunity to voice our opinion. Guys, I'm telling you right now, if we get an approval for an ETF, I'm not saying this is going to happen. For now, this is literally just, we're all hoping for this. But if we do, you will see more than likely the biggest bull run that crypto has ever seen. The last bull run that we had, that'll make that look like nothing, guys. So go on the website. I'm going to leave a link to this page. Go on their website, guys. Voice your opinion and let them know that we all want this ETF. This is something that the crypto community needs, guys. Okay? This is really, really big news. That's pretty much all I had to say for today. I'll bring you guys some more videos probably later on this week, maybe even into the weekend if we get a little more activity on the charts. If we see some movement on Bitcoin in the next couple of days, I'll probably make some more. I'll be updating my Twitter regularly, and I'll make another video on that. But remember, guys, stay safe. Have a plan for what you're going to do, for what goes on, for whatever the market does, whether it goes up or down, guys. Just make sure that you have a plan and get on this website and voice your opinion, okay? All right, guys. I'll see you next time.